So I want to shift gears to profit first.
Okay.
It is funny. I pulled this quote, something you had said. Profit first isn't just spreadsheets. It's a whole new mindset where business owners learn to pay themselves first, which I think is great. When did you first have that light bulb moment that profit first I'm going to say radically, but I think it can radically shift. But when did you have that light bulb moment where you realize that profit first can radically shift a firm's trajectory?
Okay, so I'll give you my brief history of profit first. I had a prospective client that I lost because I was not a profit first professional, and she was insistent on having someone that knew profit first like the back of their hands.
Had you heard of it at that point?
No.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay. This was maybe a month or two into being in the business.
Gotcha. Yeah, it is interesting because there's even to this day, there's a lot of accountants that have never heard of profit first.
So I was like, okay, I mean, I feel like the priority here should be, getting these years of taxes done. But if you say so, sure. So let me see what this is all about. So I read the book. And when I say I read the book, I listened to it. I'm an audiobook person.
Mm-hmm.
So I read the book and I was like, I don't really know about this. So I left it alone. Then maybe 6 months later, I read it again with a different mindset. Because at this point, I felt like I was reading certain books like Think and Grow Rich and that were actually changing my mindset. So I read it again with the new mindset and I said, okay, let me try it out myself. So I tried it out myself and I became debt free at 28, I believe, 28 or 27. Yeah, I paid off all my student loans. And at that point, that's when I realized, okay, this is something that actually works. So then went through the process of becoming a profit first professional and now implementing it with law firms has been very transformative.
What was it like seeing it succeed for the first time with a law firm client?
Honestly, it was so interesting because not only did they have financial success, but their lifestyle was better. They had never taken vacations before. Now they were traveling multiple times a year and had a business that ran on it, ran without them having to be there for a few days. Okay. Like that's not too much to ask for. And so that was really, I really felt like that's the impact that I'm creating. I'm helping people create more jobs. And so it was very rewarding for me.
I'd say that most of our listeners have probably heard of Profit First, but there's probably a few new people that have not heard of it.
Mm-hmm.
Can you explain the basic concept to lawyers so they can kind of have a better idea as to what it is, what we're talking about?
Absolutely. So Profit First is a cash flow method that guarantees the business to be profitable. It's the cash flow method is based off a book written by Mike Michalowicz and
Motorbike Mike.
Yeah. So, and he's a great author. He's written other phenomenal books as well.
Clockwork. There's something else. Yeah, there's another one too. Yeah, he's got several. He's great.
Yeah. So basically, what happens is for every dollar you earn, you shift some of that money to separate accounts, right? So all the money that you earned goes into an income account. That's only where your earned income account goes or earned income goes. And twice a month on your allocation days, you're going to allocate a certain percentage to a tax savings account, which you will hold so that you can make your quarterly estimated tax payments. You'll put money into a profit savings account, which you'll hold so that you can treat yourself to profit distributions, a quarterly vacation, a nice trip, whatever, a new bag, new pair of shoes, whatever you want to do to treat yourself quarterly, it's always there. And then the rest will go to operating expenses. Now there is in the method, there's also a owner's pay account. However, most people, they pay payroll out of their operating expense account. So what I tell them to do is make one transfer for the owner's pay so that you know that you're just getting in the habit of shifting that money, knowing that you're going to pay yourself, and then you're going to shift that money, the rest of the money, for operating expenses. And so what happens is when you see less money in the account, it forces you to do more with less.
You know how much money you have.
Right.
It was great.
So before, people, they would see, okay, I got $50,000, I can do whatever I want. But what they didn't know is that some of that is for taxes, some
Sure.
of the, all the obligations that they have. Now that when we incorporate profit first, you have profit, you're not going to touch that. You have your tax, you're not going to touch that. And the rest is for operating expenses. So now it really forces you to think, okay, am I truly getting the ROI that I need out of the things that I'm paying for? And it makes people pay themselves and treat themselves, because too often lawyers are paying everybody else. How could you pay an attorney in your practice $120,000
Yeah.
and you only giving yourself $30,000? That doesn't make any sense. We need to figure out a way to. So clearly, there's some optimization that needs to happen here so that you can get $120,000 just like the other person's getting $120,000.
Yeah, we had a guild member at a mastermind a few months ago. I guess it's about 6 months ago now, and she had not paid herself in like a year and a half, and so she was like about to crack. And that was the first thing. Like, you have to pay yourself. Like, you have to pay yourself before anybody else,
Right.
because the situation that you're in right now is because you've not been paying yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And luckily she's a person that like doesn't spend a bunch of money, so she was able to do that. But I don't know about you. I don't know if I could go without paying myself for a year and a half. That's
No.
insanity.
Yeah.
And it'll drive you insane is what it'll do.